I can't believe that it's been 17 days since the burial of Raila Amolo Odinga, the man who carried the weight of Kenyans' democratic dreams for over 4 decades that he has been in politics. That will form the basis of our discussion today. Life after Raila's death. And on that note, I want to welcome you back to the Hopkins Experience, a channel uh, that gives you unbiased political analysis and honest personal opinions on issues like this. So if you like this kind of content, it will be nice if you take time and hit that subscribe button and press the like, share and the video to as many people as you can. So in these 17 days, the 17 days that we've been missing Baba, the 17 days that we've been missing Raila Odinga in the country, it has been the 17 days of grief, 17 days of loss, 17 days that a country, we can reflect on his absence and his role that he has played in Kenya. If you can remember the day that it was announced that the Raila has died, it is the same day that the president came out and signed eight bills into law, very controversial bills. And if you look at the timeline that the president was signing, it was exactly after the Ruto had learned that the president has Ruto had learned that Raila has died, that he started signing those bills, and those bills have also have brought a lot of conversations, a lot of controversies regarding the democratic space in Kenya. And when he died, I think at that time a part of Kenya died. It's like a huge chunk of Kenya was bitten off, and Kenya feels different. Kenya feels very afraid. If in these 17 days after the signing of those bills, of course the burial happened in Kango Kajaramogi, and it's been difficult for people to believe that Raila is no longer here. I think we are used to him being here. We are used to Raila speaking to us every day. We are used to him being part of the political discourse or political course of the country. But for now, there's just silence. What we can see are just his friends, his MPs, his allies, his enemies still mourning him up today. I think up to yesterday, I've not checked today, there were people going to Bondo to lay their flowers. There have been choirs singing all day at his gravesite. Mama Ida has been receiving visitors left, right, and center, international, local, and she has been open to people visiting the grave of a Kenyan hero. And I believe it's one of the ways that people get healing, and they start accepting that it's no longer here. Even in Parliament, up to yesterday, the 4th of November, MPs were still giving their tributes, still speaking on the issue, speaking on his demise, praising him for all that he had done for the country. But in these 17 days, things have been going quiet. Things have been going south. If you look at how our politics have been playing and how government has been handling people and its affairs, tells you that his absence is actually missed. And in this critical moment when Tanzania is going through a very difficult times, it really invites me to think on what Raila would have done if he was alive and Tanzania was up in flames. Would the government have sent their agent? Would the government send Kithure Kindiki, the deputy president, to Tanzania for swearing in? Would Raila really support Samia and the killings that he has done in Tanzania? Would the president have really congratulated Samia for his sham election? Yeah, I don't know, but because at this time the president can boldly congratulate Samia, can broadly send and says from the president of Kenya and the people of Kenya, we would like to congratulate Samia Suluhu Hassan for a win in an election, which we know there was no election, there was just something close to that. And when that happened, that's when it actually hit me that we are in trouble. We are actually in trouble, and we have to recognize the fact that we are on our own. And now the president and the powers have the luxury to do whatever they believe they can do, because there's nobody who can hold them accountable. There's nobody who has the similar power as Raila to check them. Also, in these 17 days that Raila has not been on this earth, rather he has been under. We have seen ODM trying to find its foot, a party that has not known any other leader other than Raila Molo Odinga. We have seen the scrambles, the double speak come in really at this time. Like, we've seen those who support the broad-based government, those who are against broad-based government in ODM try to pull Raila back into this politics. We've seen everybody trying to say what were Raila's last wishes before he left. Others said Raila wanted Ruto to be president, and he endorsed the broad-based government. Others are there saying that Baba said that ODM should field a candidate in 2027. In all this, we are looking at those big positions and big issues. To the common Kenyan, to a normal Kenyan who believe that Raila is the only man to fight for their rights, and that when he's alive, Kenyans were assured that nothing will go wrong. When a Kenyan citizen looks at how the politics are being played, how there's this boldness by the government to do some controversial things, sign controversial bills, buying political views because on opinions, because if you see, there are some of the staunch ODM guys who are now being very cozy with the government, and that can only happen when Raila is no longer there. On these 17 days, we've seen that, and also the absence of Raila and also his demise have really shown me on how quick people move on. I thought, as a person with the stature and the achievements of Raila Odinga, his death would put a little bit stop to politics. Like, people would actually move back and let and breathe a little. But no, that was not it. A few days after he was buried, we saw people celebrating, including Kagwe, no, the Nyeri governor, Kaiga, yes, saying that now their prayers for Mount Kenya people has been answered. At the same time, we've seen the president celebrate that Raila is no longer there to compete him in 2027. So, and it kept me wondering, like, how fast are we moving on, and how are we taking advantage of this death? Why are we doing that? Even to the highest office, there has been celebrations, and the need to capitalize to seek political capital from his death. So it's not as rosy. It's funny, and at the same time we've also seen campaigns going on like nothing also happened. We've seen people on rooftops. We've seen the president going around in Western, and going around in Western is not going there for flowers and show. He's going there to woo them, to show them that as we are missing your leader, I'm here to take the mantle. We've seen also the ODM brigade going out full out to there to the Kasipul by-election. So I think when we see these politicians moving on this fast, it tells you that no matter who you are, when you are gone, you are gone. People will start moving on. Yeah, politics will keep being politics. People will keep talking, and the good thing to Raila is no longer here. He has very little to worry. He has nothing to worry. He's at peace. That is the issues of Kenya no longer worry him anymore. Yeah, but it also calls upon Kenyans to know that now they are on their own. We have been accustomed that when the government does something wrong, a person who tells us that things are going wrong is usually the late. But but now that he's not here, it calls upon Kenyans to take it upon themselves to check the government. I know his body is gone, but his spirit still remains with Kenyans. The spirit to fight, the spirit to fight for democratic spaces, the spirit to be patriots, people who love the country and who could put the country ahead of themselves. Yeah. So to the politicians now, I know to them it's a time to recalculate, to rebrand their parties, to rebrand themselves, and to try to interpret life after Raila. But beyond the politics, there is a collective soul searching happening across the country. People asking who will carry the mantle now as the elder of the country, who will carry the mantle now as the leader of ODM, who speaks for the voiceless, for the forgotten, for the poor. Maybe there's the answer to that. Maybe there's the answer to that person who will speak for us. That person will carry the mantle now, and that person is us. We are the one. There is actually a footprint on how to deal with government, and perhaps this is the moment we transform Raila's struggle into a shared responsibility, a national duty to keep believing, to keep fighting for fairness, and keep Kenya united in a purpose, because we suffer from the lack of purpose, and politicians love when we have no purpose. but we have to find and unite towards a shared purpose. And it's good that we've been left this way, because he was not going to be here for forever. At some point, we have to come up and put on our big boy pants. Yeah. And this is the moment we have to do it. So, 17 days without Raila, and yet uh, his voice in spirit still guides us. In every chant of justice, in every dream for unity, in every act of courage by citizens who refuse to lose hope. Raila may be gone, but his spirit becomes part of a national fabric, woven in our struggle and our triumph and our future. I know Kenyans will continue to mourn, but also we have to move. We have to move together to move forward, because that's what what Raila would have wanted us to move that way. I'll leave it at that, and it's time for you to reflect. How are we going to live? How are we going to stay? And let's honor Baba not with silence but with actions. Let's build the Kenya we have dreamed of. And we can do it. And that's what I believe. Thank you.